Okay. So what do I definitely have to do? Ordeal today? Yeah. Gotta do that. I should be good on the Abyss stuff. Yeah, I think it's an ordeal and dungeon kind of angle. Hello, Thrice. See if we can find any 14, 15. I'll settle with 14 if I can find a 15. That's fine. Hello, Crashfish. Well, these guys had a bit of an accident, I guess. Right. You guys have a Cleric? I guess I'll just make my own room. That's... Oh, I already have it prepared. What do you know? It even saves your preset. Crazy work. I do have to do some dungeons on my channel as well because I'm capped at the origin. But yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. That's fine. I mean, don't even particularly need to tank. Do nice video, and please make an Arcana guide later for global. I didn't understand shit. I mean, I think I've covered Arcanas in like 3 separate videos at this point. I went into more detail on like the basics of the system in my like content and system overview guide that I made like a while ago. And I mean, it's still relevant, right? Because it's just the baseline of the Arcana system hasn't changed since really. And hello, Smitey. And I mean, it's still relevant, right? Because it's just the baseline of the Arcana system hasn't changed since really. And hello, Smitey. I'm doing alright. Still tired, but I'm doing alright. And hello, Steris. But like, if you want more of an introduction to the Arcana stuff, I do have that covered, yeah. But it's just one of those systems that is like, the Arcana system is a really simple system once you understand it. But like at face value, if you haven't touched once you understand it, but like at face value, if you haven't touched the game at all, it's like, what the fuck is this shit? You know? Because like this shit. You know? Because like the interaction with the Arcana system is like fundamentally baked into one of the essential baseline system of the game, which is skill levels, right? Which if you haven't played the game, you probably would not be able to understand what the fuck's going on. Watched the video, took 1 hour, very technical. Yeah, I mean, it is a bit of an information dump. I tried to make it as digestible as possible, but I also didn't really want to make the video assuming that you know absolutely nothing about the game. So I didn't go over the very, very basics because I already have a video that does that, right? But like, this is like, the way I built this video is that if you already played the game, but like, this is like, the way I built this video is that if you already played the game, you can watch it now and you will immediately understand what's going on. And then Shelby, thanks for the resub. Wow. And then Shelby, thanks for the resub. Wow. And like, yeah, if you already played the game and you watched the video, you will immediately get it and you'll be like, oh, that's what I fucked up about my build. You know what I mean? Like this kind of a reaction. You'll be like, oh, that's what I fucked up about my build. You know what I mean? Like this kind of a reaction. And if you have never played the game before, you're going to be like, okay, I kind of get it, but I'm going to need to return to this when I actually play the game, right? Like this guide is going to accompany you as you get into the game, right? How does the day? Hello, Raikos. I'm doing all right. Again, I'm just a tiny bit tired, but how does the day? Hello, Raikos. I'm doing all right. Again, I'm just a tiny bit tired, but you know, as you do. Oh, yeah, keep this. Come on, you're 660, dude. It with the times. Hello, Ulte. Dude. It with the times. Hello, Ulte. I watch your new guide, but I would wish for timestamps. I have timestamps, yeah. The timestamp, I added the timestamps like half an hour after the video released, but they are there. How do you get statues and artwork? Statues you get from, like, you get some from the MSQ, you get some from doing Transcendence. You get, I mean, and then you can fill in the blank with statues from Nightmare. And then you can fill in the blank with statues from Nightmare. And the paintings you get from doing dungeons, MSQ, so on and so forth. This guy is not pressing ready. Okay. No. Why was my subset tier 1? I thought I had a gifted tier 2. Because Twitch, I mean, weren't you there when I tried to give you the tier 2 sub? Twitch refuses to let me upgrade your sub. Like, you need to not have an active sub for me to gift you a tier 2 sub. So because you just resub, I'm gonna have to wait another month. Hello, Relic. So because you just resub, I'm gonna have to wait another month. Hello, Relics. For me, there's none. Description, the one that shows in the video timeline? Yeah, it should be there. Maybe you have to clean your cookies or something, because I mean, unless YouTube fucks something up for some people, like they are there. Yeah, like they show up for me. Hello, Cerulean. Mr. Streamer, I have a question. What do I do with the cash runes I do not need? I mean, if you have bags, just put them aside until you feel like getting a +7 or +8 cash rune. Otherwise, if you have cash runes that just take space, you can just like delete them. Or you can just like enhance them until they break. That works too. Hello, Troy. I summoned both of you when I typed that on Ascendant stream. What? Wouldn't type what? Relics? This conversation again in a month? Ah, yes, surely. I mean, it's not there, but I will try receiving cookies, as you said. I mean, I guess worst case scenario, you can just click on the description timestamps, but yeah, it should work. Like, I tried on mobile, I tried on my desktop, and it does work, but yeah, no. I mean, YouTube is just fucky sometimes, you know? Like, sometimes you don't even gotta understand. What other sources of god stats are there than Pantheon and Bracelets and Arcana? I have 20 Illusion that doesn't come from any of those. Not sure what's the source. It should only be that, right? Ah, no, wait, no. You get some baseline god stats from collecting feathers. Yes. The old guard and veteran feathers give you some baseline god stats. I almost forgot about that. I can confirm doesn't show for me either in the video, but I used the description ones. Really? Okay. I'll have a look at it. I'll have a look again after stream. Really? Okay. I'll have a look at it. I'll have a look again after stream. I'm 373k right now, but I don't know what I should farm. No Chromite group take me. I'm getting kicked out of almost all Illusion group. I don't know what to do. You make your own groups. If you have dogshit gear and dogshit ping, you make your own groups. That's all there is to it. That's what I did on my ranger. So like, if you really can't get into tier 2 Transcendence, you just make tier 1 groups, and you just gotta get your cards like that. Hello, Jovit. I don't know beforehand which side Asmodeus is stronger at server I'm about to join when the book comes out. I mean, you won't really get to know, but broadly speaking, it kind of doesn't matter because the matchmaking is getting changed every 2 weeks. So like, even if you're getting fucked in the ass 2 weeks later when the matchmaking changes, you're gonna get matched against a server that's like closer to you in strength. Welfare. I mean, yeah, there's not really much more to it. Like, especially as a foreigner on time, there's not really much more to it. Like, especially as a foreigner on Taiwan, you kind of have to make your own groups. Like, that's the trick. Why is it so hard? Now that's a question. That is the real question right there. And even I don't have the answer. Well, I kind of do, but you know. Someone's going to play Asmo because they discovered this disposable razor to shave their back. I still think they should bring it back as, like, you know, an option. Like, they could bring some, like, racial stuff on both sides as, like, options. But they are really scared of people picking one faction over the other just because of this, so. It is what it is. While I'm setting it's 32, he's blasting my bedroom. Yeah. I mean, it went down a bit. It was like 36 earlier today, but right now it's like 27. It's alright. And Empo, thanks for the Prime resub. Very cool. How about NC America have been kind of silent, but do you happen to know where the NA servers are going to be located and if different game servers are going to have separate main server? Troy, the Steam page should have all of the information. But as far as I'm aware, like, North America has East Coast, West Coast, and Central servers. At, like, the usual locations. Yeah, so it's funny because this PC hospital, yeah. Isn't that the problem? Well, yeah. Isn't that the problem? A lot of humidity, yeah. A lot of, like, yeah, like, barely any wind. A lot of humidity, yeah. A lot of, like, yeah, like, barely any wind as well. At least in my region. Like the choking type. It says Spotlight Strike record of communication, yeah. I mean, hey. Like, we're gonna talk about this later, but, like, you know, some of the data mine stuff is good indication that maybe we're gonna get some news soon. So yeah, we'll see. I know you're kidding. No one opened the keyboardist, I guess. I mean, that's fine. We have, like, one death out, right? If we get too many deaths, I'll go open it, I suppose. Never trust after the main developers. Wow, I got hit by that? That's crazy work. Okay, I guess I'll go open the thing. Just in case. Probably gonna get my cast broken by this fella. Yep, fucking knew it. Probably gonna get my cast broken by this fella. Yep, fucking knew it. I hope they have 2 servers. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't think, outside of the Steam page stuff, I don't think there was, like, any official announcement, but I mean, that should be pretty set in stone, right? And hello, Empo. Emra. What graphic settings do you use? I mean, it's custom, but like it's a mix of ultra high, medium, depending on certain stuff. It's mostly on high. Are you going for early access? I kind of have to, right? Since I'm making content on this game, and the people I'm playing with will very likely be picking it up, so yeah. I probably will. Although I'm just gonna grab like the cheapest possible package, because the expensive ones are genuinely just not worth it. What is the most DPS PvE class? Every DPS kind of falls in line within like the same bracket. Like on long fights. On short fights, Assassin is pulling a bit ahead. Because Assassin is very like, you know, burst forward. But overall like every DPS class performs fine. Is there an in-game DPS meter? Yeah, there's an in-game like personal DPS meter, specifically. Is there an in-game DPS meter? Yeah, there's an in-game like personal DPS meter, specifically. Purple. Purple. The gladiator is disconnected, I think. 3 minutes left. Yeah, I think this one is failing before we even get there, dude. Unfortunate. I guess I'll just rebuild. A bunch of questions. I got 45 recently. I guess I'll watch the YouTube guides first. If you're like going for the growth pass dice, I do have a video that goes over what you should be doing after you're done with the pass. What server will you be in? We don't even have a server list yet, so who knows. Will you fancy playing on the early access servers, or do you like the idea but just not have much of a choice because of the content? I'm so and so. I kind of don't really care too much, although given the choice I probably would have played on the full release servers, because I think it's just going to be a better environment. But you are a rich streamer, since you'll need to invest in 100 doubloons packs to show dominance. True. Is there like a DPS meter for your group? Group DPS meters are only third party. The one that's in game is only for yourself. One was earlier. I'll do 850k and I'll be more strict, I guess. Because I mean, even with the tank gone, like this boss should have died way faster. I was trying to get more info on trading items. Is there trading in the game or only in the market auction house? Yes, there is trading. Although trading the in-game currency is subject to like heavy taxes. Will we make a new guide about PvP and how to gear properly with global release? I'm gonna be making a progression, like early progression guide for global. I don't know if I'm gonna make the same. I don't know if I'm going to make a PvP, an exact PvP parallel to the video I just released for PvE, because the thing with PvP is that it keeps moving, and honestly, the meta is just like very simplistic, and PvP in general in this game is like very simplistic. Like it's not that deep, right? So I don't know if it's deserving of more than just a mention in a progression video. But you know, we'll see. If there's enough demand, I guess. Hello, Raiden. Should I watch the PvE building or growth pass guide first? The first step pass rerolls already claimed. If you're going for the growth pass on Taiwan right now, I would look at the growth, the post-growth video, because that straight up just tells you what the next steps are, right? The PvE progression guide takes it more on the more fundamental level to understand what steps are, right? The PvE progression guide takes it more on the more fundamental level to understand why you're picking what you're picking. But ultimately, I would probably watch both you're picking. But the post-growth one would probably be more relevant to you if you are picking the growth pass. Very helpful to video. Yeah. I'm glad people are finding it helpful. Like I've had some very positive feedback about this video. I mean, it's my best performing video by far. Like it's kind of not even close, actually. I guess turns out when you're just, you know, not making slop and actually take time to make proper videos. People like that. And Lahuza, thanks for the tier 1. Very cool. Enjoy the emotes. Appreciate it. That's fine. Video's awesome, now you need a cam. The cam is right there on the bottom right. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's fine. I'll just take whatever is last. As promised, here you have myself promised. Thanks for all the help. Oh yeah, right. Well, thanks for keeping up on your promise. Appreciate it. Hello, Cytronic. Just question if I want to go for a trip to France, what I should go for a good experience without getting robbed or stabbed. Nice location without. Just question if I want to go for a trip to France, what I should go for a good experience without getting robbed or stabbed. Nice location without tourists. Just avoid Paris or Marseille. Like, most of France is like really cool. Damn, they all left at the same time. That's crazy. Like it's a cool country. Like, try the coastal areas and like that are not Marseille, and you'll mostly have a good time. You think we'll get housing update soon? They need to cook a little more. I think housing is gonna be a little bit more. I mean, who knows? Like, at this point, we have to get something not necessarily major, but we have to get a big patch pretty soon, because we have been staying with the exact same patch for like a while now with chapter 1. So something's probably coming soon. Hopefully you understand the system. Yeah, no problem. If you go early access, your friends won't be able to join you on the same server. There's a server transfer window. You will be able to play on the early access servers as a non-early access player after the full release of the game. Any recommendations city-wise? And Orochi, thanks for the tier 1. Wow. Very cool. Oh, you should enjoy your answer? Hell yeah. I mean, Thrice... There's a bunch of nice towns, honestly. It depends, okay, it depends if you want something that a bit more touristic or if you want something that a bit more chill. Also depends if like, you want a swimmable beach or you just want like a nice location. Are you French? Yes. France isn't cool. Wow. Y'all are getting spammy heat waves. You're not wrong. We are getting fucked right now. Is it possible to make a full secondary PvP gear as a sub player? Do I need to take some parts and mix it up with PvE gear? You see that, Cine? That's my PvE set, right? That's my PvE set, right? It's as up to date as it gets. I'm already ready for the raid that's gonna come out in like a month plus. Bam. Here's my PvP set. And I'm not even particularly trying hard today to get PvP. I'm full PvP, 3-piece High Commander, with a PvP Genius, so on and so forth. So the answer is yes. You can absolutely make a PvP set as a sub-only player. Nice locations. Look into the Finisterre price. Love this place. I mean, I can like link you some stuff after the stream if you want. Something a bit more casual is needed, like housing and fishing soon. I mean, that's coming. When? Who knows? But it's coming. How's your ping? Good as a French player in Asia? It's dog shit. I have... within dungeons, it's usually above 200. But, you know, you get used to it. After how many months would you suggest to go for PvP again on global? It's more so a matter of, like, when... After how many months would you suggest to go for PvP again on global? It's more so a matter of, like, when you're comfortable, like... When you're comfortable with your PvE set and you're like ahead of progression in PvE, like that's the right time to do stuff on the PvP side. On me? Alright. I don't drink, but noted. Hello, Pojo. I miss it's dead as fuck. Hello, Pojo. I miss it's dead as fuck. I guess I can, you know what? I'll just join this group. How about that? I can negotiate for fruit juice, yes. Yes. And see how huge the difference is with the keen acquisition when you're able to run Transcendence 4 Conquest hard? Yeah. I mean, being at the end game definitely gets you a lot more, which is why, like, early into the game, ults are going to be valuable because that end game is going to be easier to reach. Oh wait, he was talking to me? Oh, XD, he was asking me if I was a foreigner. Very cool. Like early into the game, like the early dungeons don't have that big of an advantage for being at end. He was asking me if I was a foreigner. Very cool. Like early into the game, like the early dungeons don't have that big of an advantage for being at end game, but the more the game runs, the more there will absolutely be an advantage. Which is when ults begin to fall off. I'll try again, but if it doesn't work, I'll just like do something else. Shut the fuck up, Unshoving. Complete PV guide. No, I'm doing nest. Hell yeah. Just like grab some food and a drink. It's a bit of a long one. What do you get from Hall of Illusion with that I want portraits? What do you get from Hall of Illusion with that I want portraits? I mean, there's multiple things, Sid, right? If you want to upgrade into Faded instead of Lava, like, Faded is, you know, there's the option. You also get the... If you want to upgrade into Faded instead of Lava, like, Faded is, you know, there's the option. You also get the potential stones for the endgame gear, for accessories and weapons, and armor. Like, it gives you all three. Like, Hall of Illusion is the best source of potential stones overall. And it just gives you your Kina, your U-Steel builds, and so on and so forth. But like, if you're following the growth path and you're getting into endgame, if you just like nudge a bit, you're gonna be able to do normal mode, Fallen Citadel, which I would probably recommend pushing at least far enough to do that if possible. Do you happen to know why your YouTube stream every now and again just goes back like 3 seconds? Does it? Maybe there's a bug on the se.live thing, maybe. But I guess worst case scenario you can just watch on Twitch. I'll have a look after stream. Like, I haven't changed any settings for YouTube, so in like over a month. So if something is happening, it's probably a bug on my restreaming thing. As far as early game AP works, will you dump it all into Stigma Shard? Yes, pretty much. PvE progression is king early on, and Stigma Shard is part of it. 12. Yeah, I should have done my ordeal earlier in the week. I just forgot. I'm currently playing... I just forgot. I'm currently playing... this endgame gear without PvP. PvP is a side thing. Like, PvP has its own progression and it's not mandatory. And it's very easy to keep up with PvE gear. By just doing PvE. There isn't enough gooning in the video guides to help keep my attention. I mean, I can put some Subway Surf footage on the right side next time raiding. What's the loop for self-crafting your own gear? Is it feasible with a lot of ults running more dungeons and crafting drops? I mean, it is feasible, because obviously with like getting bound mats and so on and so forth. But broadly speaking, you're going to want to, like, you know, buy some mats to supplement, just to make it a bit... But broadly speaking, you're going to want to, like, you know, buy some mats to supplement, just to make it a bit faster. Because it's like, the mats you're gonna get are always gonna be like slightly lopsided, so... You have to pay a fee for using fast trees here. In France, yeah. I noticed the same thing about YouTube rewarding some parts. You can also notice your last record stream. Is that so? Okay, I'll have a look after that, after this stream. I mean, today's stream is going to be a short one anyways. And thanks for the follow, Pantheon. Any streamers, stock market graph on one corner, so we're suffer on the other corner? Ah, yes. Finally. Ultimate brain rot. Voiceover reading other corner? Ah, yes. Finally. Ultimate brain rot. Voiceover reading the guide. Yeah, who needs visuals? Who needs to see the game to understand what's going on? Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. I'm gonna be able to do that. unfortunately. I guess I can try until like half, and then I'll just do something else. I need to try... Okay, I need to do some quest. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just not gonna do it. Either way, it's just a couple of mana stones. Who gives a shit? I'm gonna do my due diligence on my channel right now. I do have stuff to do on this character. I need to finish my open world stuff, and I need to do some dungeons. Yeah. Then check with the rest of the community when you talk, it upsets me. Yeah, because it's an add-on. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, then check with the rest of the community when you talk, it upsets me. Yeah, because it's an add-on. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I mean, I guess I can ask you guys. Wait. We got patch notes today. We got the CM thing. Wait. We got patch notes today. We got the CM thing. We'll get the patch notes in like an hour when the servers go down. But yeah, like at this point, I feel like you guys keep paying points to keep the tail up. Like, I gotta ask, do you guys just want me to make it part of the model by default? Same with James, I have 60k. I do have stuff planned, and since I finally released this big video I was making, I'm gonna probably next week. I'm gonna be working on some stream stuff. Sounds like more work for you. Not really. It would be pretty easy to just like bake it into the model. It would be very easy. But it's just, you know, it's something for you guys to spend points on, but it's just that ever since I added it, it's always been on. So yeah. And like every time I took it off, it was put back on immediately at the beginning of stream, so yeah. If you guys like it that much, I can just make it a permanent addition. So this way it would move with the rest of the model when I talk. Now some... I mean, could I hide it? I guess. I mean, I could also move the map, but, you know. But I'm probably going to be doing some stream stuff this. But I'm probably going to be doing some stream stuff this week. It's a balancing act between. It's a balancing act between the YouTube content and the Twitch stuff. I do already have another video planned for YouTube that I'm probably gonna, like, you know, gonna start thinking about and working on, but yeah. Baguette on head toggle when? I don't know about on head, but I'm gonna, as I said, I'm probably gonna add an add-on to the table for you guys to put dumb shit on, like a mini baguettes and lava lamps and stuff like that, since I have the API running now. PV guy was very useful, thank you. Yeah, no problem. I mean, that's why I made it. I know the game is mostly PvE. Would appreciate your take on PvP gearing if it's minimal side note. I will be making early, like, progression guides with global. PvP is going to be a part of it. And we'll make a little chat duel thing where we have a little avatars on stream beat the shit out of each other on the little table. I mean, that's not impossible per se. I do know there's programs for that. It would be pretty invasive though. I feel like these are always like pretty huge, pretty bulky. There's programs for that. It would be pretty invasive though. I feel like these are always like pretty huge, pretty bulky, right? And I don't really want a huge ass banner either, so. Good baguette, yes. Good baguette, yes. Do you have any plans on making a video going over your full plan for the first week? Yep, I do have that exact video that will be, this is the type of video I'm going to be making in September, not August. Like, Again, I have a bunch of videos like lined up before Global, but some of them are lined up for the back end of September because, you know, basically the videos that are subject to change before Global comes out, I'm gonna be waiting like as long as possible before I release them. Thank you. No problem, Cammy. Like, as I said, I definitely had some really positive feedback about the Deez video, so I'm glad it's helping people out. But like, again, as I said, broadly speaking, throughout August and September, I will be releasing more and more, like, you know, guides of that sort, if that makes sense. Like guides and overviews, and I'm also going to like overhaul my system and content guide as well, because it's still good, but it needs an update. On Reddit Discord, definitely the best one out there. Oh man, you're linking my videos on Reddit? Oh man. Oh man. That's a scary place. I don't go there. Any chance for short class specific videos? Yep, that is actually the... Any chance for short class specific videos? Yep, that is actually the... Because, okay, people have been asking me non-stop about making a new tier list. So I don't want to make a tier list again, but I do want to make an overview of every class right now. So that's probably the subject of the next video. And I'll see if I mix in also like class introduction into this video, or if I make separate class introductions later. I don't know. I'm undecided on that. Like, I'm still in the planning phase for it. As far as ults go, would you have some that are more like mini mains rather than full on ults? I mean, Bublo, I have an ult video on my YouTube channel if you haven't watched it. Long story short, in the long term, having at least one character that is like almost a second main can be good, right? But broadly speaking, ults in this game are very low maintenance. Would I give it a 1 million down button on AION2 shell? Oh no, my credit score. It is overrated because NC's change so often. Yeah, exactly. Like the problem with tier lists is that the game keeps changing, and also the whole tier list format is like really prone to misinterpretation. Like that's the problem I had with the tier list. Is like really prone to misinterpretation. Like that's the problem I had with the tier list I made last time, which is that like obviously I condensed some of the information, but a lot of people just either didn't listen to what I said, or they didn't watch the video and just like skip to the end to see the rankings, and they just didn't get the right idea. And then you also have like, you know, for lack of a better words, dumbasses coming into the tier list, not realizing that I'm saying stuff for a reason, and being like, no, this is not right. Like, even though they don't even play the game, not realizing that I'm saying stuff for a reason, and being like, no, this is not right. Like, even though they don't even play the game. So yeah, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a lot more careful next time I make this type of video, and I'm just going to take a completely different approach. Making a channel Cleric would make easier to make a mini main, I'm guessing. If you intend on running content with it, it would make it easier to get into groups here. But broadly speaking, if you're gonna be making like a second main, quote unquote, I don't think you need to worry too much about the cast, as long as you don't shoot way above your pay grade in terms of the content. And thanks for the follow, Quacker. Is it mandatory to play all characters on one character good enough to play it? Yeah, exactly as Quacker said. I do have a video about ults that goes exactly over what ults get you and what is the expected amount of time for you to be playing an ult. Am I missing this? Oh, there we go. So if that's something you're curious about, like it's oh, there we go. So if that's something you're curious about, like it's Watching the video is probably going to be better than 1,000 words. Watching the video is probably going to be better than 1,000 words. Do you know if by any chance on Ranger ult I should go for low drop bow over gold level 76 crafted bow? Yes. As I said, live knocks in my PvE like building guide. Live knocks in my PvE like building guide. Overall, right, across the board for weapons, grade is the thing that matters the most, right? And then once you're like at the highest grade, so like once you are at heroic, then crafted is superior. The gap between tiers is fast greater than it used to be. Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing, which is why the tier list format just isn't. It's just not good. It's good to get clicks, but that's not what I care about. Like, if I'm gonna be honest, if the only thing I gave a shit about was ad revenue and clicks, I would have split the video I released yesterday, the PvE guide, into like 7 videos. Because it would have been very easy. 7 videos. Because it would have been very easy to like split this video in multiple. I'm actively just losing money by not doing this. But the thing is, that's not the point. And I get any thanks to the 1 gifty. Very cool. But like that's not the point, right? I just want to release a video out in the world that is like, that's it. That's the guide. Start to finish. No strings attached. A video out in the world that is like, that's it. That's the guide. Start to finish. No strings attached. Like, that's it. Right? Some people also tend to... yeah. How much those ults even accelerate your main progress? It's not so much about accelerating your main progress. Like, early into the game's lifespan, it's definitely going to be very helpful because ults are basically going to be very close to the level of your main in terms of like generating Kina and resources, because again, the early dungeons are gonna be the end game. But as time passes and the patches go by and ults get faded, as time passes and the patches go by and ults get faded out of out of existence when it comes to running dungeons, the relevancy of ults fall more within the side horizontal stuff, like the closet, for example. Like farming PvP mana stones and stuff like that. Which, again, I go over that in my ult video, if you're curious about that. But, like... a couple of people in the PvE guide complained about the fact that I was talking too fast as well, but like, I mean, ultimately that's just the way I talk. And also in the PvE guide complained about the fact that I was talking too fast as well, but like, I mean, ultimately that's just the way I talk. And also, I mean, there's subtitles. You can slow down the video, and I feel like if I took my time to explain shit more, the video would be 1 hour long, dude. I don't know. It's already long enough. Is NCSoft providing growth back in Season 2? They provided some stuff in Season 2. Like, you know, NCSoft providing growth back in Season 2? They provided some stuff in Season 2. Like, you know the Nuakum gear and stuff like that you get early into the growth pass? That was the first growth pass they added in Season 2. Like, they also give, like, free Arcana passes and stuff like that every now and again. Just slow it down. That's just how I talk. You talk fast? I mean, some people say so. I had one guy that was very mean about it, actually. No, you the complainers? Yeah, I know. I had one guy said that, like, what was the comment again? It was something like, the video is impossible to understand because I have a shitty accent and I talk too fast and I should stop making content. I was like, wow, that's not very nice. Content. I was like, wow, that's not very nice. Pretty average slow, yeah. I mean, I do try to pace myself because I do know that I speak a bit fast sometimes, and especially if you're a non-native English speaker, which don't get me wrong, I'm not native, but I do know that I talk a bit fast. Like, I get it. I get why people would struggle a bit. I do agony. Don't listen to that guy. Oh, I just banned him from my channel. So don't worry. The advice has not been taken, but you know. Hell yeah, Raiden. An actual bad French accent, yeah. Well, I mean, he didn't even say a bad French accent. He just said like an impossible to understand accent. For all we know, maybe he thinks I'm German or something. Just sounds like an ass. I mean, that's you know, the flip side of making content. And you know, fair enough. It's an open forum. You're free to have your opinion. Eh? Non-English native, he speaks fast, but yes, we can put down the video on 0.75. Yeah, exactly. Like, you can slow down the video, and I do have closed caption enabled as well. So, if you really struggled, you can put on subtitles. Guys, it makes... Guys, it makes sense. There is a lot of information in the last guide. Yeah. That's also one of the reasons. Like, I'm trying not to like be around the bush. There is a lot of information in the last guide. Yeah. That's also one of the reasons. Like, I'm trying not to like be around the bush when I make those guides because, bro, guys, the script for this guide was 6,000 words. The recording session was 2 hours. Like. I don't need to make this shit even longer. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Even longer. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Wrote some parts, yeah. I mean, this guide is definitely meant to be, you know, picked apart and rewatched as you need, right? Which is why I tried as much as possible to self-contain the information. Like, this is the segment that talks about skills. This is the segment as much as possible to self-contain the information. Like, this is the segment that talks about skills. This is the segment that talks about arcanas. Like, this is the segment that talks about equipment. And try not to like cross-fire too much. Like, don't go into tangent. So this way you can just rewatch one part, isolate from the rest, just to get the information that you seek, right? Too much abstraction when it comes to AION2 stat systems if you hear information that you seek, right? Too much abstraction when it comes to AION2 stat systems if you hear it from the first time, time, wisdom, so arcana, yeah. Absolutely. Which is why, like I was saying earlier, for someone who is currently playing the game, like the way I made this video is if you're currently playing the game, you can just watch the video start to end and you're gonna be like, oh, that's why my build sucks dick, right? And then you're just going to be able to immediately just make it click, right? Whereas for someone who's completely new to the video, I didn't really cover everything in the absolute basics because I already have a video that does that. But the video is more meant for people who are completely new to just come back when global releases, to just pick it apart and just use it like as you go, right? I'm not native English speaking, but I'm talking slow. It's just a matter of habit, really. Usually we talk our language. I mean, I also talk fast in French. It's just, you know, it's just a me thing. And to be fair, right? To be completely honest, I absolutely do slur my words a bit sometimes because I'm talking too fast. Like, I don't articulate fully sometimes, which... When I'm recording, like, I mean, you guys should see the fucking recording session. When I'm recording a video, when I realize that I said something too fast, I just retake the line because I know, right? I know. I try to keep the lines that are the easiest to understand. But sometimes on stream specific, right? I know. I try to keep the lines that are the easiest to understand. But sometimes on stream specifically, you know, I mean, you guys, if you've been watching the stream, like, you know that sometimes I just get lost in the sauce. I fixed my build watching party matchmaking and that gear and improved now with your guide. It's so hard to find good class-specific guide, yeah. I mean, the thing with PvE is you don't even need a class-specific guide. Like, as I said, every class builds around pretty much the exact same logic. There's very few exceptions, you know? I wish to talk fast like you and then sleep on my words. Okay. I don't know. I mean, but then you would get mean comments about the fact that you talk too fast. I just opened a video that's just normal talking speed. I mean, I don't know, man. Again, all I'm saying is that I get it if it's a bit too fast for some people, but I think it's understandable still. And worst case scenario, you can slow down the video and there's subtitles, so... You know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Okay, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like, MMOs in general, if you don't play the game, everything is going to sound and look like a mess, right? If you look at combat, and you look at systems, and you hear about someone talk about the game, if you've never touched an MMO before, it's gonna sound like nonsense. In any game, about someone talk about the game, if you've never touched an MMO before, it's gonna sound like nonsense. In any game, right? Some games have some similarities where you can drop howlers, but for the most part, it's like... Some games have some similarities where you can drop howlers, but for the most part, it's like... Like, as I was saying earlier, right? Once you understand what's going on, the Arcana system is very simple, right? It's very simple. But at face value... Wait. Oh, wait. Like, at face value, it just doesn't make any fucking sense, right? This probably has been asked a lot, but I'm so torn between making Cleric or Channer. Are both equally viable in high-end PvE? I would say in the highest end PvE, so Sanctuary asked a lot, but I'm so torn between making Cleric or Channer. Are both equally viable in high-end PvE? I would say in the highest end PvE, so Sanctuary, Cleric is perhaps a bit more sought after because Resurrection allows for people to just not, you know, not spend Resurrection stones, right? And the Asinon, thanks for the host. Very cool. Hope you had a good stream, buddy. But broadly speaking, I don't think anyone's going to be upset about having any cast. Like, you're not going to have... Okay. You're not going to struggle to get into a group with one class or the other. Congrats for the sponsor. We need to use it so bad. I got banned from some Korean servers, not Taiwan. What do you think? I don't know. I think Lego Fast is fine for Korea. I do know people who play on Korea that uses it, so there's no problem. Raiders. Welcome, Raiders. I am doing some chores on my channel before the patch, and then we're going to look at the patch notes together. It's going to be about 13 seconds long, and then the stream is going to end. So, look forward to that, I guess. Because these patch notes are not going to be huge at all. Based on the CM hole stuff. No class balanced. There's fucking nothing this week. Okay, you know what? I'm lying. They're making it so the Channer and Templar buff doesn't wear off when you enter Nightmare anymore. Which they had already done, but they accidentally removed it last week. So there you go. But I mean, this week specifically strikes me at the calm before the storm. Like, guys, trust me. Next week is gonna be the one. Next week is gonna be the patch that's going to bring us the new dungeon and the second part of Elden and Morheim. Guys, you have is gonna be the patch that's going to bring us the new dungeon and the second part of Elden and Morheim. Guys, you have to trust me on this one. I've been saying this for 3 weeks, but this time. National stream, how dare you lay me down? I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe there's gonna be more stuff, but the CM hole was like, we added a new skin, tee, and like, that's it. That was the entire thing. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Best I can do is 2 Guna skins in a full event. We don't even have the event date. That's the thing. I mean, we have a currently ongoing event, I guess. 6 lines of patch notes, and that's generous. I guess I'll do these quests and then I'll try to do like 1 or 2 dungeons just to empty out today's energy on this character. Actually, I don't have blue energy as well. God fucking damn. I'm gonna need to do a lot of dungeoning on this character. And also I'm gonna try to terrorize Corroded next week. Actually, isn't Corroded bugged this week? Didn't they fuck up the bombs? I guess they're not even fixing that. I mean, maybe it's gonna be in the actual patch notes. Perhaps. When are they coming out with the housing and ship battles? Is that way down the road? It's supposed to be sometime in chapter 1, so it could be next week, it could be like in 2 months. We just don't know. We don't have a timeline for chapter 1 in general. We don't know. We know stuff is coming. We don't know when it's coming. Like, they didn't provide a roadmap with dates. Every week is a patch. Yeah, I mean, same for Taiwan. It's just that this week has fucking nothing. Essentially. I should add this. Hold on. Yeah. I was only like AION1 based. We don't have the details. We know that the housing location is gonna be like an island in the air, and you know, you're gonna be able to let your pets roam in the house. Like, that's about the extent of what we know about housing. Incoming until October, yeah. I mean, the Japanese stream did mention housing with global, but you know, which perhaps, considering the fact that the region is going to be isolated to its own housing location, maybe when housing comes in Korean and global, they're going to put it on global at the same time. Maybe, right? But yeah, we honestly don't know anything. Full UI editing came to the game. Yeah, it's been the case for a while. Like, they have been iterating on it, like making more stuff scalable and stuff like that, but yeah. Like, the UI is honestly fine right now. It's not particularly pretty, but it's fine. Probably don't want to make many balance changes this close to global launch. Oh no, they're going to make a lot more balance changes. Like, they've already said they're going to make a lot of PvP balance changes these coming weeks. Do all the stage and Transcendence drop the same cards? So the Season 1 Transcendence dungeons drop different grades, but all of the other ones do drop the same cards. It's just like the amount of cards that changes. You may have missed a lot. Yeah, a lot happened. The game has gotten like very significantly better in that time. I think a global launch would be huge. I mean, the way they talked about it certainly made it feel like that's kind of what they wanted, but who knows. What do you think about the assassins worth picking as a main class for the global release? Every class is fine in this game. It more so matters, like, what actually matters is what archetype you want to, you know, play. Like, if you want a high speed, meaty DPS that is going to make you directionally challenged because Flash Slice is a funny haha skill, then yeah. Is Ranger better? Again, there's no... Okay, it just depends exactly on like what you're looking at content-wise. Because like, if you're talking about 1v1 PvP, then yeah, I would say Assassin is slightly better than Ranger, but balance is a fickle thing. Like, it just keeps fucking changing, so... That's why I said just pick an archetype and run with it. Like, don't think too hard about it. Yeah, I just want to try and get above 300k and go do some measure of breath. Let's see if that's enough. Okay, I guess I have to enhance my pendant as well. I have to go some grab some Kina on my main for that. All right. Do we still have skills to pick up? I don't think I do. All right. Do we still have skills to pick up? I don't think I do. Oh, I do. Wait, hold on. Someone here. Okay. Tolerance, don't give a shit about that. I guess the rest is gonna be passives. Yeah. Healing boost. Perfect chance. PvP damage boost. Let's go for the big passive first. One's mostly full. Install. 8. Very cool. Install. 8. Very cool. We have an attack node. There we go. Hello, Hyper. Hello, Alec. I think we can all agree as long as my class gets buffed and I don't care about your class. Yes, I think that's a pretty universal thing. Okay, let me transfer some Kina. Try to get above 300k. Let me transfer some Kina. Try to get above 300k. I have to say it feels pretty good to play Sorc in PvP right now. Yeah, Sorc is... The Sorc stonks have definitely risen a lot. Like, as of late. Just pick an archetype, eventually your class is going to be OP, eventually it's going to suck. Yep. Yo guys, remember when Cleric was the best 1v1 class in the game? I do. I remember. Yeah, I remember. That lasted for like 2 weeks. That was great. At least you saw it, yeah. I was there. If you said it previously, I'm sorry I missed it and knowing my question. How is Sorc doing compared to... If you said it previously, I'm sorry I missed it and knowing my question. How is Sorc doing compared to Ranger, both in PvE and PvP recently? It's kind of on the same level for different reasons, I would say. Like, again, all of the DPS classes, when it comes to long fights, are very close to each other in terms of performance. Let me erase that. And both classes are performing pretty good in PvP. Just like different matchups. And between Cleric and Channeler, me and my pals are all beginners. We only have one spot on healer or group. What do you recommend? If you have to pick only one healer for your group, pick Cleric. 100%. Okay. Where is it? There we go. Wow, that shit is expensive as shit. I should have transferred more money. Jesus Christ. They do have some Silentium maybe to fill in the blank? I do. That should be enough, yeah. Ripkina, yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do. And my combat power did not even fucking go up. I can't believe that. Gotta do what you gotta do. And my combat power did not even fucking go up. I can't believe that. At least I can get it to goal now, so that counts for something. You're right, they need to make Baby Meow playable instead. True. Okay. 96.4. Yeah, I'm just missing a little bit. I guess, I mean, that's fine. That's fine for that. 440k, yeah, totally, dude. I'll make a 350k lobby. Just don't check my combat power, right? Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. Let's give it like 5. I guess I can do some quests until then. And thanks for Rayo. Yeah. I think there are no updates this week. There is a maintenance, but in terms of what they're gonna do, it's basically fucking nothing. And thanks for the follow, Ted. Yeah. Probably gonna be some bug fixes, some minor stuff, and like that's it. We won't play on it. We won't play on it. Yeah, well, good luck with that. I would say just go build your PC, but ooh, yeah, some bug fixes. Yes, definitely. That's gonna be part of it. It wants me to enter into instant stuff. I can't do that right now. Meaningful content release? Nope. Again, Again, I'm hoping that this is the calm before the storm, and next week is gonna have, like, you know, some more major stuff, hopefully. 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 I mean, running dungeons right now is just... yeah. I've been too busy this week, man. Like, making the video made me skip both Nama. Opportunity Sanc 3-4. Nah, Sanc 4 is not coming for at least another month. Like, bare minimum. Like, we still need to get the second dungeon. Like, we don't have the second dungeon yet. Yeah, for accessories and weapons. You skipped Nama twice, yeah. On Friday and Sunday. You skipped Nama twice, yeah. On Friday and Sunday, like... because both days I was working on the PvE guide, right? So, you know, I got lost in the sauce, and I just didn't see the time, and I missed Nama. That's like 10 platinum medals? Yeah. It is what it is. Lava heart weapons or unique ones? Unique ones. Just for potential stones. And like, it's gonna be orange accessories and yellow weapons. For potential. When is chapter 2? Start date, first week of November. For global, you mean? We don't know how long. When is chapter 2? Start date, first week of November. For global, you mean? We don't know how long the season are gonna be. Like, we don't know if they're going to speed up the schedule, keep it the same, like change it a bit. We don't know. Yeah, exactly, Valkyrie. For Asia? Oh god, that's a good question. Oh god, that's a good question. Thanks for the follow, Kidoku. And hello, April. I mean, if you look for my Dramata guide on YouTube, like, it should be... I think I released the Dramata guide like a week after season 2 started, something. And thanks for the follow, Matrix. Current season stuff says 90 days roughly for now. Yeah, I mean, basically season 1 was 2 months, season 2 was 2.5. I think season 3 was about 2.5 as well. It was 2.5. I think season 3 was about 2.5 as well. And chapter 1 is meant to be much longer in terms of like the progression. How much ping would you have on global? 7 Frankfurt and Frankfurt, Germany. I'm probably gonna have like between 20 and 30. How much ping would you have on global? 7 Frankfurt and Frankfurt, Germany. I'm probably gonna have like between 20 and 30, like something like that. That's what I had on AION2, and the server location is basically like around the same place, so. RP Quest 2030, yeah. Gonna be just a tiny bit of a better play experience, you know, not much. Just like, you know, 1/10 of the ping. It's doing the with chapter 2, it's doing the with chapter 2, 4 weeks of season 1, which is unrealistic. I mean, they could be doing sped up seasons. We just don't know because NC of America just straight up isn't saying anything. Like, they haven't given us anything about the specs of the server. Are you going to open a guild on global? Nope. The thing is that legions in this game are literally just glorified friends list. Like, that's it. And I don't really want to deal with people's pedantics and dramas and so on and so forth. So when it comes to interacting with my community, like, I'm gonna leave it to the Discord and my Twitch chat. And yeah. I'm gonna have to redo the fucking RP if I leave now. So surely they can wait 30 seconds. Like, this is literally done in 30 seconds. If I enter now, the quest is going to cancel. I'm gonna have to redo everything. Legion control will be introduced. It's mostly gonna be casual stuff. Like, I don't really see them introducing any meaningful, like, Legion content. Bro, why is this fucking RP so long? Yeah, someone left. Introducing any meaningful, like, Legion content. Bro, why is this fucking RP so long? Yeah, someone left. God fucking damn it, dude. There we go. Thank you for your patience. What was season 1 like? Like, what dungeon and gear? The high-end dungeon was a Phi Temple and Nuakum, and Horn Den gear. The high-end dungeon was a Phi Temple and Nuakum, and Horn Den. The raid was Ludra. Season 1 is very easy. Like, progression-wise, it's gonna be very straightforward. I'll give Ordeal energy. I mean, if that's the case, then I'm just gonna do it with my pre-made, right? But again, I just want to deal... I just simply do not want to deal with a community legion or anything like that, because again, I've been saying this since the beginning, right? I do care about anything like that, because again, I've been saying this since the beginning, right? I do care about teaching people about the game to help them enjoy the game. I don't care about, you know, being like, guys, we are a community. Like, no, I'm a player first, a content creator second. And I'm going to be playing the game in a matter where I'm going to be enjoying myself. I don't want to deal with a daycare of, like, random people that I don't know. Like, nothing against you guys. It's just, yeah. I'm not interested in pretending that we are all a big family, because I don't know most of you people. Like, I appreciate the support, and you know, I like chatting with you, but I don't... Okay. Like, I appreciate the support, and you know, I like chatting with you, but I don't... Okay. But I don't really care about dealing with people's drama, like, oh, this guy refused to do dungeons with me. I don't give a shit. I just want to play the game, bro. Like, genuinely. He hates us. Unsubscribing. Damn, the one guy that's not sub saying that is crazy. Please, father. I have a question. I have a good PC. I played AION2. Graphics are not good. A little blurry. Can you show settings? It's probably has to do with the upscaling that you're using, if it's looking blurry to you. I mean, I can show you my settings after this dungeon, yeah, sure. What combat power do you recommend for Phi Temple hard mode on global? I mean, okay, the thing is, hard modes were not introduced until, like, much later. I don't think hard mode is going to be available. The thing is, hard modes were not introduced until, like, much later. I don't think hard mode is going to be available from day one on global. Like, it kind of doesn't make sense progression-wise to have hard modes available too soon. I'm gonna grab that because this character definitely needs all the help it can get. Almost like 21. Yeah. Eye level wise, it's 2.2. Combat power. The thing is that combat power as a metric did not exist in season 1 initially. So there's that. I'm definitely not gonna risk it. This character... I'm definitely not gonna risk it. This character is literally gonna get one shot. If I even remotely attempt to risk it. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, maybe grabbing a Cleric would have been a decent idea. Maybe. I'm gonna die of cringe. How did the first boss die so easily? Maybe. I'm gonna die of cringe. How did the first boss die so easily, and this second one is taking so long? Do we have an AFK guy? I guess we have a bunch of dead guys, actually. I didn't pay too much attention to like people's gear in this group. Is Gladiator good at the moment for PvE? Gladiator is excellent and has been excellent for the longest time. Do you feel like there is a correlation between the really hard dungeons and the loot, like Muspel? What do you mean by that, McCree? What I want to say probably doesn't matter for many, but matter for me. Have a percent HP bar on bosses. Yeah, I don't disagree. In general, getting more details on bosses would be nice. Like, I think we live in 2026. I don't think we need accuracy and crit caps to be hidden from us. Just show us the information. Just tell me what the accuracy and crit requirements are for the content. And like show the percent HP and so on and so forth. Like, fuck it. They have a channel in party. I always respect my level 25 buff as a cleric, yeah. I mean, I should be taking healing touch perhaps, but you know. Just use stones. This character is irrelevant. Just use stones. This character is irrelevant. Is it worth wiping on these bosses so many times and the other mechanics from clear? I mean, honestly, the PvE in this game, like, Cleric is very much the outlier in this game. Like, you're not going to struggle too much to be clearing anything. But overall, yeah, like, it is worth it for progression. Well, we definitely have an agent. Oh. We have a 9th... Okay, this guy is here for the sprout. I see. I mean, I'll take it. But like 100%, like especially Sanctuary, like Sanctuary is worth every minute you put into it. September is a tutorial, yeah, pretty much. Yo, can the channel stop gathering Odale and like accept while the fucking 930k assassin is carrying us? Please? Just... Thank you. I'm just going to like start as is. I'll take the carry. This character needs all the help it can get. I'm gonna be honest. I was very tempted to try and do like a last minute corroded before the maintenance, but I think that's a bit ambitious. I think so for Anawi. Damn. That's crazy. 630k assassin, yeah. European, I thought my was bad. I did see a couple of like red boss people, and it's like, okay. Like, yes, you can get acclimated to like any ping in this game, and the main thing that's going to suffer is gonna be your DPS, but I think over 300 ping is perhaps pushing it a bit. Probably just wait for global, you know? Global, you got some juices. Yeah. I mean, this character is 296. Like, I did my first corroded on Ranger at 350 as well. I'm melting. Hell yeah, Rolex. So this guy won the TP, I guess. Yes. Roll. I will enable you to be lazy because you are clearly carrying the weight in this group. I'm fourth. There we go. He died. That's crazy. What even fucking killed him? Wait. How do you die? How do you die at 9:30 on this? $80. Yeah, I guess the reason why he wasn't here for the second one is because nobody opened the Kivalisk. I will not make the same mistake again. Right. But like the main reason why I wanted to get into 5-star with this character ASAP is because of the Chaos Fragment event. The minimum dungeons you gotta do to get the fragments. Scrolls and shards. I mean, scrolls and shards are not very high maintenance in this game. This is not AION2, to be fair. Not very costly. I focus on eating food and using scrolls. I mean, you kind of have to use scrolls. They're 1k at the NPC. Come on. I mean, same for power shards. Like, it is a lot of extra damage for 1 Kina per hit. Can I farm for infinite scrolls like BDO's infinite pots? I haven't played BDO, so I don't know if you mean like in the sense of having a consumable that never expands itself, or if you mean like having, you know, being able to farm large quantities. This game doesn't have like infinite consumables, but it's very easy to get consumables. Like, for the most part, you can just run on the ones sold by the NPCs. Consumable that's forever? Okay, no, we don't have something like that in this game. To be fair, they should be doing this for equalized PvP though, for sure. Yo, fellas. The nightmares. I mean, even for run-of-the-mill dungeon. I mean, even on my shitty old-time running days, right? So we're missing one dude. There you go. Yeah, he's definitely just like left clicking to let us do damage. I mean, I think you only need to do like 1% nowadays, right? So it's not too bad. Any unique mechanics as your first is going? Yeah, we have like a juiced guy that's carrying. Probably because he's trying to do his weekly sprout bonuses right before the reset, so that's so. Hello, Yuki. Unique mechanics? I mean, yeah, every boss has unique mechanics, yeah. I mean, if you're curious, McCree, I have guides for just about every single fucking dungeon and raid in this game. So I guess if you ever feel bored and you want to marathon all of them, been on a grind lately? I mean, you always grind. You're always grinding in those games. I mean, I'm not even like particularly going at it too hard, but just going through the motions, right? Bro, can you stop wasting time gathering your white Odell, dude? Please. Like, if you're on stream right now, you're wasting everyone's time. Don't do that. Okay. How? The graphic looks shady. What should I do? I mean, if it's just like the guy from earlier, where there we go, he left. If it's just like the guy from earlier where your game is a bit blurry, look at your upscaling, like DLSS. Like what setting you have on that. More like in content creation? Oh, I mean, yeah, I've been going through the motions. For sure. Look, you kind of want to be the juice guy and run through that strip. Around as a gladiator or something. I mean, it is possible to power creep like easy dungeons like these, even when they come out. If you're like, you know, always keeping up to the latest endgame for sure. Don't judge. I'm not judging. Only content creator pushing that many videos in such a short amount of time from what I've noticed in AION2 sphere. Oh no, there's plenty of people releasing more videos than me. It's, you know, than me. It's, you know. But for me, it's not about the quantity. And I'll leave it at that. Juiced equal pedo in? Not necessarily. Should probably be looking at the screen. Not necessarily, no. It's just like keeping up to the the latest endgame, especially once you start getting your Horn Dragon weapon and everything. Like it's pretty easy to keep up. And show or shall your HUD settings look really nice. Louis Tech, if you ping me after stream on my Discord, I can link you my HUD code if you want. Although do keep in mind that I have like an unusual screen resolution. So as a result, if you translate my HUD to yours, like maybe it's not going to look quite right. Just keep that in mind. HUD code is a thing, yes. I was watching some Korean streamers. They seem to be quite bored with the current state of AION2. How are you doing? Bored with the current state of AION2. How are you doing? I'm doing great. I mean, I do hope they ramp up content release a bit. Like, I've especially been waiting for the next dungeon for a while now, because I need potential stones. Like, I need accessory and weapon potential stones, right? So I need the new dungeons to do that. But I mean, you know, I've been playing MMOs for 20 years. Most MMOs, you get stuck with like one piece of content for like 5 months. So honestly, I still have shit to do. I'm good, you know. I do want stuff to. So honestly, I still have shit to do. I'm good, you know. I do want stuff to release, but you know, I'm not foaming at the mouth or anything. If that makes sense. Yeah. Like we know stuff is in the pipeline, and I'm you know, I'm waiting impatiently for it, but like the only thing I'm concerned about is okay. With Global coming out in less than 2 months, I really want to do the Season 4 Sanctuary, but with the current pace of content, I'm afraid that it's gonna come too late for me to be able to clear it. I'm afraid that it's gonna come too late for me to be able to clear it. So that's the only thing I'm a bit concerned about right now. No patch today. We do have a patch, but it's a bit of an empty one. That's the only thing I'm a bit concerned about right now. No patch today. We do have a patch, but it's a bit of an empty one. What's up, Vijay? I think next week is part 2. I mean, I don't know about part 2, but I mean, at this point, we have to be getting... We have to be getting the next dungeon and perhaps the Battle Royale or something. It would be nice to get the second half of the maps and everything, but I'm not even that demanding. Want to repeat past mistakes? Bro, how many times a week do you eat a whole fucking chicken? I gotta ask. I feel like every other day you're like, guys, I gotta take out the chicken from the oven. Next question. I understand. Next one is already in the client. It's kind of about time. I mean, pretty much the entirety of chapter 1 is in the client, right? Like we already even have unannounced dungeons, and we have Sanctuary 4, right? All of that is in there. So I think they do have the content ready. I think they want to really pace themselves, especially with global approaching. So I think they do have the content ready. I think they want to really pace themselves, especially with global approaching. So yeah, but next week has to bring something, because otherwise that would be almost a month with like nothing. Because you can make the argument that technically speaking we got trials, right? Like technically speaking we got trials. I mean, trials were a bit underwhelming. Yeah, no. Underwhelming. Yeah, no. Minutes of content per week type shit. What changes do you think NCSoft is going to decide to add to the game after getting feedback from Taiwan and Korean servers? I mean, they already have been introducing a bunch. Like, the game is already completely different than how it was on release. Like, you have no idea. Like, you have no idea how good Global is going to have it with this game. Because, my god, as someone that has been playing since release, holy shit, we are not playing the same game anymore. And honestly, it's only for the better. Like, really. Now, that being said, that's not to say that they're not going to, like, not change anything for Global. I do think, as much as NCA is not communicating, it's pretty likely we have stuff that is stirring up specifically for Global, but yeah. I mean, namely, like, the stuff that we data mined, like, 2 days ago with the fact that there are strings in the client that... I mean, like, I'm going to talk about it again, but they added strings in the client for a swiping limit. Which... you obviously have to take this with a grain of salt, right? Because they keep adding and taking out stuff from the clients that just never see the light of day. But, bro, are we deadass? On God? Teach me, coach. Nah, my Chenner is like actual shit from an ass. This character has nothing going for it. I'm just, I just got it to this point to get Chaos Fragments. Yeah, I don't think anyone has... yeah, I don't think anyone has stagger skills. I mean, I don't know how the assassin is not insta-killing this, though. Ethics are for a mythic. How many ults would we need to push semi in game? I mean, I have an old video, Troy, but I think most people is going to settle with 3 ults overall. Like, just with the free slots. Because that's also the sweet spot for dungeoning, right? Well, being clear, also, Lost Talk is going through the same problem right now. I'm assuming we're going to have some sort of sped up schedule, but again, it's just the type of stuff that NCA has to address, right? Please kill it. God, I guess that works. Oh, why not? I think I go with China main and 2 China ult and get bored after a week and 2 and swipe. Sounds like a plan. Thumbs up, dude. Eating Cleric and China, which... Eating Cleric and China, which one do you find more fun, easy and impactful to the group support buffer? Right this instant, I would say Cleric. Because Cleric has some unique tools, and... in terms of like the, you know, instant, I would say Cleric. Because Cleric has some unique tools, and in terms of like the, you know, endgame, like Sanctuary, the healing capabilities does come in handy sometimes. But both are great and both are capable of like sustaining the group. And see, make sure that Global catch up for in Taiwan eventually. They did with Blade and Soul. I mean, they usually do that, yeah. I mean, even with Throne, right, they did eventually. But again, they just haven't announced the plans. Like, in terms of release schedule, the only thing they've said is we want to release content at the right pace for the players. We will be monitoring shit, which basically is like a nothing answer. I think so far with Louis Tick. The right pace is what concerns me. I mean, it's just PR talk for we haven't decided. There's no right pace, right? Because ultimately, if they want to speed up the pace, then they also have to speed up the acquisition of stuff, right? So it has to be like a voluntary decision from them. Perfect World, they were gonna either be global launch or maximum 1-2 week behind. I mean, they eventually have to catch up because you can't really have a PvE first game be behind its like native region for too long, because when you do that, all of the content is already sold as soon as it releases, which it doesn't feel good for people who doesn't play on the native regions. Because like someone like me, like the first 6 to 8 months of release on global, I'm gonna be bing chilling. I know exactly what's coming. I know what to do. I know how to do the fights. I'm not discovering anything. And which is not really fair, right? And you don't really want to like keep that up for too long. Repeat just something I want to know. Yeah, Avil, someone told me earlier that the YouTube stream is like slightly glitching sometime. I'll have a look at it after stream. Because I haven't changed any settings, but sc.live has had a change, so yeah, I'll check it out. Don't you usually have Cleric and Channer in the group, or is it dumb? Having both is fine, but if you're gonna have like one that is, you know, standalone, I would say Cleric is overall the superior like standalone healer. In the current state of the game, like that, the standalone healer. In the current state of the game, like that, the opposite was true just a couple of months ago, right? So again, it's just yeah, true just a couple of months ago, right? So again, it's just yeah. Do you think Channer will be good DPS later in party, or they're just picking Cleric and full DPS Channers out? Channer is already good in a group, right? Like, when you account for all DPS, Channer's DPS is not bad. It's just that when you're looking at like having a support in your group, Cleric provides more healing and Cleric provides resurrection, especially in chapter 1 right now, where Cleric can basically carry res for free. You're basically never using res stones when you have a Cleric in the group, unless you're impatient, right? Is it like Lost Ark though, where if people just dodge stuff, you don't need a healer? Kinda, yeah, it is. And also, every class has some sort of self-sustain, so for light content, like what I'm doing right now, you could have a group of full, like, only DPS, and you would be able to get through, right? Because the game is built in such a way. It's more so for, like, actual raids, and you would be able to get through, right? Because the game is built in such a way. It's more so for, like, actual raids and stuff, where you want to build a proper comp. But having a proper comp for these also makes it like more, you know, smoother, I guess. This party said I one Shadow, one Cleric, only one Cleric. You'll carry both for the quote-unquote ideal setup, yeah. Wouldn't Shadow outperform, let's say, if you had good players? In theory, yes. Like, if you're running a juiced comp that is just speedrunning dungeons, then Solo Channer is technically a bit better, because Solo Channer does provide the superior batch of buffs. But the thing is, both Cleric and Channer provide different buffs. Some of them don't overlap, and some of them are better on one class or the other, which means that typically carrying both is just kind of what you want to do. Because the way classes are built in this game when it comes to DPS is every class is pretty close to each other in terms of DPS performance when you account for all DPS. Right? So it's not like you're losing out by having like a Templar or a Channer in your group. I'm scared about this guess. Kicked out because healing is very bad against a Cleric. Channel's healing isn't bad. Like, it's absolutely capable of, like, maintaining a group by itself if you spec for it. But obviously, Cleric is just, like, the superior healer in a raiding situation. Like, don't get me wrong, when I talk about the ideal class for anything, I'm mostly talking about, like, actual raiding. Like, week 1 raiding where it actually matters. Because for the rest of the game, you can just fucking play anything and bring in any comp and you're gonna be able to get through it. So, yeah. Tell them to dodge, and if they suck, they get hit. Yeah, true. What in the... Alright, sure, dude. Thanks for that game. Sounds toxic, but it's true. I mean, in this game, it's kind of whatever, because, again, pretty much every class has, like, honestly, good self-sustain. So, even if you eat shit, as long as you spec for life leech, you're gonna be able to sustain by yourself on content like this. Retable if people kick you in Fire Temple, yeah. In any dungeon, to be honest. Mods don't ban me. I still don't have any mods, that's the fun part. I am the mod. How do I know how much accuracy is needed in any database? I'm sure there is like a spreadsheet somewhere. Like, I just kind of know it by ear, personally. But I'm sure there's a spreadsheet somewhere. Wipe on Crowd Cave? Oh, 100%. People are not going to meet the stagger checks for Drop Near and Crowd Cave. Oh, the assassin left. Alright. If the assassin leaves, that's it. 5 minutes is not going to be enough to clear without this guy. There was a poll recently from Reddit showing clerics. Okay. We have very strong player base since everyone is aware that a make a healer ult meta. Do you think even worth making a healer ult? Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, right? The reason why you make a healer ult, quote unquote, is to get into groups easier. Making a DPS is not going to, like, you know, make that any better. I guess you can make a Channer if you want to be special. You know? But other than that, you just have to know why you're picking that class on an ult. And the reason is not going to change what you pick, right? Is there a channel Discord or something with good players so I can learn? I don't know about English resources. I'm going to be adding channel, like, fast channels on my Discord. Probably sometime in September to include, like, you know, just picture data that gets updated of, like, macros and stuff. But right now, honestly, I have no fucking idea. I mean, I guess that's one of the downside of the fact that I just don't keep up with this community, like, at all. I have no fucking idea what other people are doing. Nor do I care, to be honest. Okay, with full cleric bodies. I mean, you can just do, whatchamacallit. Who's the XDD3 guy? Backron. On that ING needs a good start. Yeah. If you want to look for builds, AION.ing is decent. If you want to look for, like, DPS data, I'm gonna be honest, anyone that brings up AION.ing in terms of, like, how the class balance is, like, okay, just picture this, okay? Just picture this in your head. Picture someone that every time someone asks, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. Actually, I think that would be a lot more of a good representation. If anytime you ask someone, like, what is the state of the class, and, like, you want to argue about how a class is performing in something, and if they do this, if they just open this, and they just, like, sit on the screen, or, like, go on one of these screens, right? And they just, like, sit on the screen, and they're like, look, the class performed good. Genuinely do not fucking listen to anything they have to say. They don't understand how the game works. Alright? Just me to you, alright? This stays like between us, right? Alright. None of this data is to be taken at face value. And when you understand how the game works, you understand that's not how that works, right? No offense to anyone, right? I'm not targeting anyone in specific. I'm just saying that if anyone tells you that a class is good and they do this shit, don't listen to them. All right? That's all right. Kind of small. I mean, long story short, past websites like AION2, there's two main problems with it. I mean, I guess there's more than that, but number one, story short, past websites like AION2, there's two main problems with it. I mean, I guess there's more than that, but number one, the DPS data that they publish is over the course of the last 30 days, which means that if there's balance patches, they don't account for that, and it gets lost within the data unless it rolls over, right? Number one. Number two, the past data does not account for RDPS, which is a big problem because obviously, like, support classes are going to look a lot worse, right? Which is a big problem because obviously, like, support classes are going to look a lot worse, right? And number three, those leaderboards, they only look at like what is the fastest skill speed on irrelevant content, right? It's like, oh, the second dungeon of Fallen Deva Citadel you killed in 14 seconds, which puts you at the top of the pass, which is like, this is not data that actually pertains to actual content, you know? Like, you can't look at a 30-second fight and base your opinion of a class on this. All right. Time to bring up the patch notes, fellas. Are we ready for this? This is gonna be glorious. I for Glad buff. Yo guys, do we tell him? There's a Cleric in Fallen Deva Hardboss 3 that has like 4 million DPS, then expanded, and all the skills are on assassin skills. Yeah, like there's a lot wrong with these websites for you to be taking any of the data at face value. The only thing that you can use those websites for, the only thing, is looking at people's builds, right? You just look up, okay, what do people of my class that do a lot of damage, what do they spec into? What stigma do they take? What stats do they run? That you can do, right? And that's going to give you some actual good information. But in terms of like, what big number means good class, bigger number, better person? No, that's not how any of this works. Actually, other classes, yeah. All right, updates. Should be this one, right? I mean, you know what? The page is longer than I thought, chat. I gotta say, maybe there's a few hidden things. Bigger number, better person is the truth. Hell yeah. Polygon the stake, they show the best passives you can get in here too. Yeah, which is why on my PvE guide, I specifically say that because the meta on skills and passives is so volatile, using websites like this to look at what is trending right now is actually... and passives is so volatile. Using websites like this to look at what is trending right now is actually... there is some value in doing this, but like, that's it. What is the Korean Chinese page where I can find guides for dungeons, classes, and everything? In doing this, but like, that's it. What is the Korean Chinese page where I can find guides for dungeons, classes, and everything? No idea, though, Brick. Like, when I look for data, I typically go on like on Inven, right? Or on like on Korean YouTube channels and stuff like that. They're doing patch notes every week, yes. Alright, so the pet auto pickup 30 days will be changed to be purchasable twice per character per month. So there's same price. Okay, so you're going to be able to stack 2 months, I guess. Patterns, okay, that's the cow patterns. Yeah. Alright, that's the promotion, the cow patterns. Yeah. Alright, that's the promotion. So you know what, guys? I think I lied. I think this is a nothing patch. Well, bug fixes, that's all we get. Entering Nightmare, yeah, that's what I said earlier, so Channer and Templar buff is not going to, like, you know, fuck off anymore. Other patch notes, that's a very generous term for this internet page, but sure, let's go with that. Jewel 7 attack Jewel, okay. Linked attack was not used when following the response, oh, well, okay, okay. Linked attack was not used when following the response, oh, well, okay, that's it. No more free Bargot on ults. It's over. Can you add the aloe emote? Sure. Cast form. If you're on my Discord in the suggestion channel, you can drop a request for 70 emotes. So you might want to do that, so I don't forget. Ranger's still in the dirt. Ranger is not in the dirt right now, honestly. Like, yes, it's weaker than it used to be in PvP, but it's still pretty good. And in PvE, like, it falls in line with other classes when it comes to raid fights. So, no more free Sanc 2? Nope. I fucking knew I should have done on my channel before they fixed it. God damn it. God damn it. That's another 1k, turns to expanding primal. God damn it. That's another 1k, turns to expanding primal. Yeah, there's nothing in this patch. Wave armor skill effect. Oh, that's funny. Wait, you could remove the bleeding areas with wave armor? Funny. Ha! 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 Didn't I say that they would remove this literally last week? Alright, this could be a translation quirk, right? But what I'm getting with this is that you're not going to see other people's ping anymore. Like, me, you know, could be a translation quirk. Gonna wait for like official stuff, but you know. Yeah, seeing your own ping is enough. Like, seeing the group's ping was just fucking toxic, dude. Doesn't sound like that. I mean, but the fact that the values previously exposed along with the steps are not displayed, right? Like, toxic, dude. Doesn't sound like that. I mean, but the fact that the values previously exposed along with the steps are not displayed, right? Like, the steps to me is the fucking bars, right? I mean, we'll see, right? But, you know. Step-by-step goal count for mission count, okay. I mean, bro, I don't even know why they added these missions, because it doesn't give you anything. It's like, ooh, 300 season coins, ooh. 3 and okay. Yeah, that's the recovery for doing abyssal corridors on a low-level character right after the patch. You were getting less AP. Well, I guess that's it. I suppose that is it. Damn. Nothing weak. We're getting new weapon appearance. Probably gonna be some non-cool stuff as usual, though. I honestly haven't fucked with any of the cash up cosmetics since the game came out, which is probably a good thing, but you know. Alright, we do, okay, I guess before we go, chat, there is one thing that I didn't talk about last week. Ethics of Volca. There was one thing that I didn't talk about last week because the strings in the client were encrypted, but Yukiri got through. And we actually got string modifications from last week, so let me just go over that right now. Why not? Let's see. I'm gonna do this so it looks better for you actually. Hold up. Eat this. Yeah, there you go. Displayed alongside the steps in the next stage will no longer be shown. Oh, you're not gonna see your actual like accurate ping number? I mean, I guess it kind of doesn't matter because now we know how the bars work, but that's a bit silly if they're removing that. I don't know about that. Okay, so that was the end of last week, right? Nemon is now... Okay, so that was the end of last week, right? Nemon is now an inner door. Very cool. Yeah. So that is the big one right there. And I'm sure some people have already talked about it because I'm sure people saw on my Discord and they were like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. But basically what this is, I mean, you can see the name here, right? They added strings for... And thanks for the follow. Well, I don't see it anymore because the Discord thing is ahead, but thanks for the follow, Rikuda. But like basically they added strings for a daily swiping limit. Yeah. So yeah, daily purchase limits are applied based on the total amount of kina obtained from purchasing chests. So the kina chest on the auction house. If exceeding the maximum obtainable kina, you cannot make additional purchase. Daily kina purchase limit is shared between World Exchange and Server Exchange. So obviously, as I said, this is to be taken with a huge grain of salt because they have added stuff that pertains to swiping in the client before, and then because they have added stuff that pertains to swiping in the client before, and then they took them out. Like for example, if you remember, they added like a free Kuna currency type that was like meant as a reward to get free battle passes, and then they took it out from the client, and nothing happened with it. Do you think AION2 will get huge percent on global and why? I mean, the game is going to be popular when it releases, and then it's just going to have its niche, as usual, right? It's a good game, so it's not going to die, right? If that's your question. But I don't think you should be expecting more than like, 50k players after a year or two, because that's typically the amount of players that fall within the niche of an MMO nowadays. But yeah, like just to go back on this, so I do have a couple of things to say about that. Obviously, nothing is set in stone, right? But we can talk about it because this fucking patch is non-existent. A swiping limit is good, but it's more so good just for the appearance. Because at the end of the day, people are going to be RMTing nonetheless. Like, something that people need to understand is just because currency exchange is in the game, doesn't mean that all of a sudden that enables RMT, because even with currency exchange in the game, the largest amount of in-game currency being swiped for is through RMT because it's cheaper. Like, do not delude yourself. This is how this works. In-game currency being swiped for is through RMT because it's cheaper. Like, do not delude yourself. This is how this works on any MMO, and this is how this has worked on any MMO since the dawn of times. Like, this changes nothing. Quote-unquote legal RMT, the only thing it does is that it supplements some of the money used for swiping to actually finance the game. But fundamentally, in terms of in-game impact, it doesn't change anything. The thing that actually matters when it comes to swiping is how the systems are inherently built, and whether the systems are built to make you swipe, right? This is the shit that matters. Currency exchange doesn't matter. So ultimately, and whether the systems are built to make you swipe, right? This is the shit that matters. Currency exchange doesn't matter. So ultimately, my opinion on this is that adding a swiping limit doesn't matter. If they want to do it, that's cool, but it's not like, do not delude yourself to think it's going to change anything. People are just going to RMT. And also, a daily limit is irrelevant. Because the thing with swiping is that obviously the state in where swiping is going to be the most powerful is going to be like early into the game, because that's when you're going to be at the lowest point in terms of your resources. Because if you play AION2, you come to understand that after, and thanks for the follow, One of the Mind. If you play the game, you come to a point where you enter a flow state in AION2, where you are never lacking anything as long as you're playing the game. And then swiping just kind of lost any relevance outside of like, ooh, look at me, I'm like 5% more optimized than the next guy over, which doesn't fucking matter, right? So having a daily swiping limit, considering that probably not going to block access to the 10 million Kina boxes, early on 10 million is going to get you your enhancement, like speed bump, right? So again, this is not me saying that this is irrelevant or like this is bad or anything. This is just me telling you guys it's a good thing that they are at least considering adding stuff like that, but ultimately it doesn't fucking matter on like many different levels. What in the update patch? Switch, if you go on my Discord in the AION2 info channel, that's what the patch notes is. This is more like an optic change, like we aren't so pay to win after all. Yes, exactly, Vijay. This is not to actually change anything. This is just a, you know, a making the game look better thing, which is not a bad thing, because at the end of the day, NCSoft has been terrible at PR, because when you actually play and understand AION2, you understand that none of this shit matters, right? When you actually play the game, none of this shit matters, right? But from an outsider looking in, people who just like read Reddit or like look at slop on YouTube, right? They're gonna get the wrong idea about this game. And stuff like this, basically this right there is bait. This game. And stuff like this, basically this right there is bait. Hold on. Just find this. Yeah, there we go. Changes like this are baits for morons like these, right? These types of people. Because these people don't play the game, but maybe they're going to see that and maybe they're going to make their first positive videos about the game for the first time in their lives, right? Like, it's basically this, right? It's the only amount of relevance this holds, basically. %5 who wants to play with a 90% scam? Yeah, true. The question is, how much can they pay now versus pay per day? I mean, if there's 1K, it's crazy. Either way, Louis Tech, the thing is, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, if people don't do this, they're just going to RMT, right? And there's plenty of ways. Again, I've been playing MMOs for over 20 years. And I can tell you that since the dawn of times, even like before the year 2000, right? The pre-year 2000 games, people were already swiping for power. There's always a way. If there's a will, there's a way. If there's a demand, there's a supplier, right? So it doesn't change anything. This is just an appearance thing. Like, to me, this matters less than like an announcement of them moving Horn Dragon equipment to Season 3. Because that would be the stuff that actually matters. You know what I mean? There's more? Oh, of course there's more. I can't be taking jab at everyone today. One at a time. Oh, there's more. I can't be taking jab at everyone today. One at a time. But yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it for today, I guess, right? Like, that's all there is to it, huh? Oh, whoops. There we go. That is, like, that's all there is to it, huh? Oh, whoops. There we go. That is all there is to it. Unfortunately, this is a nothing patch. Like, the thing is, I don't even know if I make a patch note video about this because there's no patch notes. Like, I do want to cover I mean, what we just talked about the daily Kina cap, but then again, it kind of doesn't matter. I have to leave that to you know, low hanging fruit people. Penalty with minus losing that TL was enough to tame RMT, but people still do it. Yeah, exactly. People will keep doing it. Like, at the end of the day, it just doesn't change anything. And ultimately, it's not okay. Ultimately, the ability of people to swipe to get in-game stuff is not what matters, because that's always going to happen one way or another. The only thing that actually matters is how the systems within the game and the content within the game is set up. Are you forced or coerced into swiping to be able to do the content, to be able to progress, to be able to have fun? These are the things that actually matters, not the ability to swipe, because the ability to swipe is always going to be there, whether it's legal or not, right? And so far with AION2, the game is not perfect. Trust me, there's a few things I would like to see changed, like the soulbind systems. But so far, the game doesn't coerce you into swiping. The game has pay to win, but it doesn't coerce you into swiping, right? And that's what matters to me. Now, that being said, again, as I said, the thing that actually matters is how they're going to set up Season 1. Because as I said, if they intend on releasing the content the exact same as Korea and Taiwan, we're gonna have a problem. in the sense that if they release Ludra with the orange mat to make Horn Dragon gear, we're gonna have a shitty first 3 seasons again. Like, that's the problem here. Wait for more like these? I mean, yeah. More time for the PvP video. I'm probably gonna be working on the stream stuff, as I said. I do have some ideas I need to work on. It does coerce you into swiping for baby meow. True. All right. Well, fellas, I think that's going to be it. There's really nothing else to it. Maybe I should have streamed earlier yesterday, like today. But I mean, either way. I'm going to be done for now. So I will be back tomorrow for a big stream as usual. Surely I'm not going to forget to do my battlegrounds and the ordeal, right? Surely. Coerce, not coerce. Look, as long as you get what I mean, that's the most important part. But yeah, at the end of the day, thanks for watching. Thanks for the subs, the resubs, the follows, and everything in between. Don't forget to follow the channel on both Twitch and YouTube if you haven't already. And don't forget to jump on my Discord to be made aware of my whereabouts. And as I said, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for a big, long, thick, girthy stream as usual. And for the time being, I guess I'll be hosting someone else. So let's see, who's streaming right now? Any big fellas? I guess Hegmo is streaming. Yeah. But for anyone new here, I do host someone called Hegmo every now and again. He is a Final Fantasy 11 streamer that also does variety. He started doing full time recently, and he does need some loving. So even if you don't care about the game that he's playing, at least go say hi, give him some strength, and yeah, I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. And girls, and everything in between. You know, we don't. All right, GG's.